My name is Swen and you're watching Pulse episode 33. There's a lot of World of Warcraft news to cover this week. I guess it can't be any other way with Cataclysm just around the corner. We look at the Find Your Fortune campaign 100% reveal, a rumored leak of Blizzard's product schedule for the next couple of years, patch 4.0.3 and all its little dramas and fixes, and much more. The Diablo side of things doesn't have quite as much going on, but let's not waste any more time here, let's get straight to the news. Yes, it's official, the Alliance have won. They were the first to reach the 100% mark in the Darkmoon Fair Find Your Fortune contest. The Horde were pretty close though on 98% and there was a lot of cool content unlocked, but let's talk about the most important one. The 100% video is titled The World Reborn and features a fly-through video of all the exotic and epic zones we'll be exploring come Cataclysm. The music in the video is absolutely incredible and in my opinion makes the video as good as it is. So you really have to check this one out. Do yourself a favor and check the links below for that. There's a tradition at Blizzard of creating a very special holiday treat to help share the warmth of the season. Blizzard are inviting you, yes, all of you out there, to help spread the holiday cheer this festive season by entering their Blizzard Holiday Card Contest and Holiday Dessert Contests. Do you want to learn more and prepare those yummy entries? Well, check the links below for more details. A very interesting image is circulating the net right now. It's a supposed leak of Blizzard's product schedule for the next couple of years. You can find the full-size image below and I urge you all to check it out because there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Information on Battle.net 2.0, StarCraft 2 and its expansions, and then one other curious entry called StarCraft 2 Phoenix. There's also some World of Warcraft stuff on there, including release dates predicted for up to the 5th expansion of World of Warcraft. Diablo 3 and 2 expansions for it. Yes, apparently we're going to be seeing 2 Diablo 3 expansions. Then lastly, the World of Warcraft movie does make an appearance there along with a name we don't know much about, Titan. This is apparently their rumored unannounced MMO, which is also rumored to be an MMO FPS. Blizzard did directly respond to the image's leak and said that while they appreciate all the interest in their release schedule, they have nothing new to announce right now. So check that image out, let me know what you think about it. Do you think it's real, fake, a joke, anything? I'd like to hear it all. And you can also read Blizzard's full response below, along with a few other sites' opinions on that, because as you know, some people really do like going in depth about stuff like this, so enjoy. Blizzard has a nice post up on the new World of Warcraft community site titled The Story So Far. The post gives everyone interested in a bit of lore or story a catch-up session. The story in it, titled Shattered Hopes, covers many of the big events that happened after the fall of the Lich King with many of the bigger characters in the World of Warcraft. It really is a good read and puts a lot of things that I didn't quite understand at first or get told about into perspective. There is apparently a part 2 coming soon, so check that one out and keep checking back here for more on the second part. Blizzard are proud to announce that the recently revealed pets, Lil Ragnaros and the Moonkin Hatchling, are now available. You can find them in the pet store section of Blizzard's online store for the price of $10, €10 or £10 each. So below you can find some mini previews of the pets along with some cool screenshots of them too. Check that out. Ghostcrawler, the lead systems designer of World of Warcraft, had some really interesting information and explanations to share about the new tanking mechanic, Vengeance, in a recent blog post on the World of Warcraft community site. Vengeance is a new passive ability that all tank spec classes receive. The ability converts damage taken into an attack power bonus that will help tanks deal with the ever-increasing DPS on our characters. In the blog post though, he admits that as with all new mechanics, Vengeance still requires a lot of work and monitoring. Blizzard are still desperately trying to walk the line, trying to keep the balance between fun and skill required to play as even as possible, so if you're a tank you definitely want to check this one out. As I mentioned before, Blizzard are definitely on the ball with their hotfixes. The next list of hotfixes from December the 2nd have been released. The biggest changes though in the last few sets of fixes are probably the following. It seems like Gammon isn't quite done yet, and he ain't gonna stand for that beating no more. He's been buffed yet again and is now immune to all forms of crowd control. He uses abilities like Charge and Battle Shout, and will now wreck adversaries with his huge two-handed battle axe. Another big change was the reduction of the amount of experience we receive from classic dungeon quests. I won't be talking about the full notes and fixes here, but I will tell you that there were lots of class fixes, general fixes, and quest fixes, and you can see that all below. Along with all these hotfixes, you may have realized that there was a 150 meg patch that you actually had to download. That has been explained too. Apparently we're just re-downloading some of the older data to try fix some problems with pink squares and random disconnects. They also say that because this is not a real patch for now, you can actually bypass it by running the WoW exe from your World of Warcraft folder. Following the recent region-wide battle group changes, it seems like Blizzard aren't done just yet. Battlegrounds now match up players much more evenly than before, with brackets spanning 5 levels instead of the previous 10, except for the last bracket with only level 85 players. Along with that, you can now enter Warzone Gulch on level 10 and Arathi Basin on level 10. Eye of the Storm on level 35 and Altrak Valley on level 45. Strand of the Ancients on level 65 and Isle of Conquest on level 75. That just leaves Twin Peaks and Battle for Gilneas on level 85. In my opinion, those are some great changes and they're going to work incredibly well with the new region-wide battle groups, so you can read the full announcement below. With the shattering happening, if you haven't noticed just yet, the levels of some of the classic dungeons have in fact changed a bit. No, it's not a coincidence that you can do Sholomance on level 38 and Strat on level 45. Those changes were intended. So to help us prepare for leveling those goblins and worgens in Cataclysm, Blizzard have given us a nice long list of all the instances and their required levels. You can read all those big changes in the official post below. The first episode of The Adventures of Moth Girl is up. This was a sort of spur of the moment thing because I couldn't fit all the stuff I wanted to talk about in the Pulse episode, so I took the next natural step and created another show. So in this new show you'll be able to hear me talking about my various endeavors, including Pulse, my website, or any other projects I'm working on at the time. The main focus though will be my new World of Warcraft character, the Troll Druid Moth Girl. She's set to be my one and only forever and ever, and I don't see myself changing mains anytime soon, so the first episode is up and it's more of an introduction than anything else. You can check that out below. As I mentioned in the first episode, this might not be for all of you. If you don't like World of Warcraft, if you don't like me, if you don't like hearing me ramble about things, then I guess this one is probably something you're going to want to skip. But if you have the time and inclination, check it out, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Now for a few smaller pieces of news. I thought I'd just mention that the 6th year anniversary feat of strength is now obtainable until the 14th of December. You all better make sure you log in those characters for that freebie feat of strength. Dater, a World of Warcraft player from the MMO Champion forums, has set up a nice post titled, "What Wrath players need to know to not suck at Cataclysm." Well, I really don't think you guys need me to explain that one to you. Check that out if you need it. MMO Champion has a nice preview up of the Season 9 PvP sets. Those are the first PvP sets we're going to get our hands on in Cataclysm, so probably worth checking out. The latest episode of Blizzcast is available for download. This episode covers Cataclysm, its release, and all the big changes that are going to be hitting the game soon, so you can find all the relevant information below. The Guardian has a rather interesting and extensive interview up with J. Allen Brack, the Chief Project Manager of World of Warcraft. In the interview he discusses Cataclysm's release and all it entails, along with leveling in the expansion, guild changes and perks, Baron's chat, and subscription rates. Actress Mila Kunis was recently interviewed by MTV and was asked how her World of Warcraft was going. Apparently she's had to delete her game for now because she's getting too addicted, and she says that she'd love to star in the World of Warcraft movie. Below you can also read about a concerned World of Warcraft player that was worried about GM Island and its inhabitants. He was able to establish contact with one of the GMs from the island. They mentioned that they were in trouble, and I'll let you guys read the rest of the story below. Let's head on over to the Diablo 3 news. Starting the Diablo 3 news on the smalls. Oh no. It's true though, there's not much going on in the world of Diablo right now. The biggest Diablo news this week is probably also that released product schedule. It gives Diablo 3 a late 2011 release date and confirms 2 Diablo 3 expansions, so I guess that's pretty big, isn't it? Okay, so let's look at the concrete news for the week. The Diablo Twitter account came to life earlier this week and carried out what was pretty much a full-blown conversation with a persistent fan. @Diablo replied by saying that the ladder system works perfectly fine without resets, but there was more to the story. Because, as usual, Blizzard said that nothing is set in stone and they're still considering all their options. Damage types that are currently in the game are physical, fire, lightning, cold, poison, arcane, disease, and holy, but these are still subject to change. What's the difference between poison and disease damage? Disease has a damage debuff, both intake and output, and poison has a health debuff, which is both healing and regen. They also mentioned that they are both quite significant in their differences, but they both get countered by the same resistance at the moment. Diablo 3 seems like it's going to be rated M for mature. And lastly, something I think everyone pretty much knew and expected, PCs and Macs will in fact use the same BattleNet. BlizzCon has all but been forgotten, but the interviews from the event are still popping up here and there. Another BlizzCon interview has been discovered, this one with Julian Love, the lead technical artist on Diablo 3. He talks to an interviewer from atomics.vg about quite a few interesting subjects. What makes Diablo 3 a worthy successor to Diablo 2, the classes in Diablo 3, turning good ideas into great ideas, and Diablo 3's much more engaging storyline and how they're implementing it. You can check the full thing out below, along with all the other small pieces of news courtesy of Diablo INC Gamers and DiabloFans.com. Sadly, that is once again all I have for you guys this week. Be sure to check the first episode of The Adventures of Mothgirl out and keep checking back here for your weekly fix of news. Thanks for watching and doing all the other stuff I mention every single week. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye!